Well, Janis Joplin, that's a name from the past. I was ninth, 10th grader. I was just in high school when she passed away. She was very important as a feminist artist because she was not in the mold. She was not overly pretty. She wasn't what do you call, photogenic. But she had an immense amount of musical talent and charisma, and she got the crowd into her blues music. She spoke from her soul. And again, in contrast, there were groups like the Supremes, where there were three beautiful women who performed. You know, beauty and hairdos and class were all important. Then came Janis, and Janis was Janis. And she was none of those things, but she was awesome as a performer. And it was something I didn't quite understand. When I first listened to her music, I only heard recordings. I didn't really care much for her or her songs. Then I saw a movie called Janis Joplin. It was a documentary made in the late 70s or 80s, and it was a compilation of her live performances. And it's breathtaking at how good she is. When I watched that movie, the documentary, I was totally enthralled with her. There's a huge difference between her studio music and how she performed in public. So she was important because it was an age when feminism was on the rise, you know, in the 60s. And she broke the mold that way because she didn't worry about anything other than her presentation of music. But in that she was absolute, very much a genius. And she thought differently too. Her thinking was very different. She didn't have, she thought outside the mold, the box, and you would see that sort of thing in her interview where she came from Texas, very religious background, and she was none of those things. Her involvement with drugs was fairly well known to the public. And at one point she said, you know, I went back to Texas and just kind of said, well, yeah, here I am, you know, because they never thought I would make it. So she was remarkable in her achievement as just a genuine woman in a role that there were lots of other expectations: beauty, conformity, class, any one of a number of things. She broke all of those, and she delivered wonderful, live, energetic blues music.
Is that it?